Archangel Michael says the veil has thinned, and something long hidden has started to stir. A shadow moves behind a locked door that was never meant to open. You are seconds away from walking past the most crucial moment of your destiny. You were warned in whispers and gut feelings you ignored. That ache in your chest wasn't anxiety, it was spiritual urgency. Now, you must act before the silence becomes permanent. There's someone watching your life from behind the curtain. They know more about your next chapter than you do. And they're trying to write your ending in ink that isn't divine. A stranger holds a sealed document with your name scratched across it. They aren't random. They were assigned, by forces not working in your favor. You once sat beside them, trusting their laughter, believing their warmth. But behind their eyes was a countdown. They were always waiting for the moment you'd be too tired to notice. The danger is not in what's loud, but what's quiet. The ones pretending to forget you are the ones planning your removal. Their silence is not peace, it is a signal. A creaking floorboard. A photo frame cracked on the edge. An unfinished sentence in an old message. They meant to erase the evidence, but they forgot the spiritual archives. You are not unprotected. But the threat is circling faster now. You dreamed of someone falling. That dream wasn't symbolic, it was prophetic. Their mask is slipping and you're about to witness the collapse. Archangel Michael says there is an emergency meeting in the spirit realm about your destiny. Names are being spoken that were once hidden in family shadows. You were never supposed to find out what was signed without your consent. Your name is written beside someone else's power. A transaction took place while you slept. It was spiritual theft. They traded your future for their comfort. They made promises to forces they could never control. And now those forces want what was falsely pledged. You are being called into alignment not to beg, but to reclaim. Something ancient in your bloodline was illegally transferred. You are the rightful owner of what they tried to bury. In a box beneath a floorboard, near the house you no longer visit, there is a key that was meant for you. It was hidden during a thunderstorm that everyone pretended never happened. Someone cried for justice that night. Someone else laughed. But now the laughter is fading into panic. There's a panic in someone's spirit today. They feel the walls tightening, the light piercing through. They feel you remembering. They know you're waking up. They know you're close to uncovering their insurance policy on your downfall. The will they forged is unraveling. You are about to be approached by someone unfamiliar. They'll wear politeness like a mask, but their hands will tremble. Because they know you were never supposed to know the truth. A stranger will mention a name you haven't heard in years. Your stomach will drop, and you'll feel dizzy for a reason. That name is the lock, and your spirit is the key. What was hidden in legal shadows is rising through spiritual cracks. There are records above records. The divine court has issued an override. The person you once protected is now orchestrating your delay. They're stalling you with fake apologies, spiritual noise, and meaningless distractions. You must break through the fog and move quickly. The smell of burning paper, the flicker in your room, the sudden cold, it's not imagination. It's the truth trying to reach you before someone else edits it again. They want to confuse you with love, with pity, with stories from the past. But what they fear is your clarity. What they fear is your arrival. You've walked past the same lie for years. You nodded when they said, "It's nothing." But deep down, you always felt something was stolen. The betrayal didn't just happen once. It's generational. A spiritual cycle bound by secrecy and charm. Their power depended on your silence. Their comfort was built on your sleep. But now, your awakening is their collapse. There's a name on a hidden deed, and it isn't theirs. There's a date scratched out with shaking hands. They forged the past to claim your future. Archangel Michael says the storm is already underway. You can't see it yet, but the wind has started blowing through your bloodline. The false foundations are trembling. You are about to be remembered in places where you were once erased. Your voice will echo in courts, spiritual and physical, where it was once silenced. This is not a reconciliation. This is a reckoning. The next time you hear their voice, listen closely. You'll hear the cracks. You'll sense the desperation dressed in affection. A shift is happening under your feet. Walls are whispering names they were paid to forget. Dust is rising from untouched corners. They're going to pretend they still care. They'll call it confusion, call it love, call it a misunderstanding. But inside, they're trembling. They know the angel has shown up. They know the protection around you has tripled. They know the countdown just ended. There will be a message you nearly delete. Don't. Inside it is a clue, something misspelled, something too specific. A signature from a stranger who shouldn't have access to your name. A phrase that sounds too rehearsed. A sentence meant to distract you from the truth at the bottom. They are your legal obstacle. They've positioned themselves between you and your divine inheritance. But they've underestimated the force that now walks with you. Your ancestors are stirring. Their tears are being dried in the chambers of justice. Their stolen prayers are being returned. You will soon walk into a space where no one expected you. Someone will drop a glass when they see you. Because your presence confirms what they feared, exposure. What's been carefully hidden in ink and paperwork will be shredded in light. No spell, no lie, no manipulation can stop the unveiling. The silence will be broken by divine thunder. There will be screams. There will be apologies wrapped in panic. But there will also be divine clarity. Your hands are about to touch something sacred. It was once used against you, now it will fight for you. Every betrayal is being converted into elevation. Those who mocked you in whispers will hear their names in the open. Those who pushed you out are being pulled down. What was theirs through theft is returning to its rightful owner. You were delayed, not denied. You were hidden, not forgotten. You were quiet, not powerless. This message is not comfort, it's confrontation. This is your permission to move with fire and accuracy. This is your divine notification, the time is now. The locks are clicking open. The papers are being exposed. The person behind the curtain is about to speak. When they speak, don't look away. Their eyes will tell you everything you need. Their guilt will shine through their forced calm. A stranger holds what they claim is legal authority. But they hold no spiritual right. The divine has overruled them. In a moment of silence, you will feel the shift. It will come like glass breaking in slow motion. And you'll know, nothing will ever be the same. You were not meant to suffer in cycles. You were meant to break them. And now, every hidden trap is turning into a staircase. Watch closely. Your name is about to be cleared in places you haven't even stepped into yet. Your victory is older than your betrayal. Here is the divine revelation. The stranger claiming legal power over your name was once family in the flesh. But in spirit, they made an agreement that severed their divine right to your inheritance. Here is your blessing, everything stolen, time, love, legacy, and promise, is now commanded to return. And this time, it will come with interest, wrapped in divine fire that no lie can survive. Archangel Michael says the veil has been pierced by hands that should never have touched it. Someone has stepped into your timeline without permission. Their footsteps are echoing in places that were once sacred to you. You feel it, don't you? A pressure behind your eyes. A tension in your chest that words can't explain. This isn't anxiety. This is a signal. A spiritual alarm ringing in the bones of your destiny. A stranger has made a legal move. Not in the courthouse, but in the realm of fate. They have declared a claim to something that was never theirs. They've whispered your name in rooms you've never entered. They've dragged your spiritual documents into agreements you never approved. And now the weight of their deception is cracking open. You are not paranoid. You are being awakened. There is danger sewn into the seams of your story. The shift isn't coming, it has already begun. The ground beneath you is no longer still. And the ones you trusted are hiding their trembling hands. There was a moment in time they thought you wouldn't recover. That moment became their opportunity. They moved quietly while you were healing. They wrapped betrayal in paper and signed it with your absence. Now, those papers are unraveling in divine light. And your absence is turning into presence with power. You were meant to be gone. You were meant to be forgotten. But the Spirit has summoned your return. There's a file with your name on it that wasn't meant to be found. Inside it are lies dressed as facts. Signatures that mimic yours but don't match your spirit. Someone is panicking. They thought the past was locked in cement. But they didn't know heaven tracks everything in fire. There's a contract that was never supposed to survive this long. Yet it clings to your blessings like mold. And now it's being exposed under divine flame. A stranger is stepping forward. They know too much. But their voice carries the stench of manipulation. They speak softly, but their intentions are sharp. They come bearing paperwork, not apologies. They want access, not healing. Their interest in your life is not random. It's coordinated. It's spiritual warfare disguised as civility. You feel cold when they speak. The air thickens when they're near. That's not fear, it's discernment. Ashes fall from a broken photo frame in the room where this began. A storm brews where innocence was lost. And someone is praying you never remember what they buried. They sealed your future with their signature. But heaven never stamped approval. Now that seal is cracking. A door creaks open in a forgotten hallway. Dust rises from a locked drawer. And what was hidden begins to breathe again. Your name was mishandled. Your birthright was negotiated behind your back. But the heavens never signed off. The shift will not be quiet. It will come like glass shattering in a cathedral. Everyone will hear it, even the ones pretending not to look. Archangel Michael says someone in your bloodline betrayed divine order. They made a covenant for protection, and used your destiny as payment. They thought you'd never rise, so they spent what belonged to you. But you are not who they expected you to become. You are fire wrapped in silence. And now, the silence is unraveling into truth. There's a place you've been dreaming of. It keeps appearing in flashes, dim hallways, flickering lights, shifting walls. That's not a dream. It's a memory. That's where they made the exchange. That's where your name was removed from something sacred. But heaven has never stopped
Someone
tracing
recently
your true
asked
signature
about
you in a meeting. They used false concern to cover real fear. They know what's coming. The stranger isn't coming to warn you. They're coming to distract you. Their urgency is not your emergency. You will feel tempted to doubt yourself. You will feel pressure to explain your intuition. Don't. You are not crazy. You are not reaching. You are remembering. The shift will expose more than papers. It will expose motives, conversations, and secret recordings of the soul. Even what was deleted will return. They cannot outrun divine justice. They cannot bury what heaven has chosen to resurrect. And now your inheritance is roaring through the shadows. There will be a letter, a call, or a message. It will seem harmless. But it is wrapped in legal poison. Do not accept what they offer. Do not sign what they place in front of you. Your consent is the final key they need, and they are desperate for it. They've prepared for everything except your awakening. They've built safety on your silence. Now, your voice is shaking the walls. The next few days are sacred. You'll feel things before they're visible. Listen to what your bones are saying. There will be flickers, lights dimming, sudden chills, distant knocks. These are not coincidences. These are warnings layered in spirit. Their panic will come disguised as urgency. They'll tell you it's just business. But spiritual warfare is rarely labeled correctly. There are names they use to cover your signature. Names that mean nothing in heaven. But now, they're being unmasked. The legal claim is more than physical. It's energetic. It's ancient deception dressed in modern language. You are the interruption. You are the breaker of silent curses. You are the reason they cannot rest. They tried to delay your timing. They tampered with clocks that belonged to God. Now their timeline is collapsing. A door will slam without wind. An item will fall without reason. Something inside you will scream, "Pay attention." Do not ignore it. It is your final warning. It is your moment of re-entry. You are not stepping back into the same space. You are stepping in as the storm they never saw coming. And everything built on falsehood is about to burn. There will be no time for debate. There will be no room for pity. Justice does not negotiate with deception. There is a shift in the divine atmosphere. A new legal decree has been released in your favor. And now it's tearing through old documents like lightning. You were born into the middle of a spiritual heist. But you were also born with the divine right to reclaim. And that time has arrived. Archangel Michael says the final hour of delay has ended. You will be approached by someone pretending they've always supported you. But you will look into their eyes and see the truth. They were always afraid of your return. Let the false foundations fall. Let every hidden file come into the light. Let every unspoken betrayal be named. What they claimed has been revoked. What they stole is being dragged back into your hands. And what they feared most is here, you. Here is the divine revelation. The stranger claiming your future once wore the face of family but made an unholy pact sealed in silence. They tied your destiny to their downfall, believing you'd never rise in time to stop it. Here is your blessing. Every legal chain wrapped around your name is now broken. You walk forward cloaked in divine fire, owning every inch of the territory that was once stolen in your sleep. Archangel Michael says the sound you hear in your spirit is not imagination, it's intervention. A tremor has split the timeline. And now something sacred is about to be forcefully returned to you. You were never meant to stumble into this moment. It was designed with precision, with chaos as camouflage. But now the disguise is melting. There is movement in the invisible. Familiar names are being whispered in unfamiliar rooms. And a stranger holds a document with your energy sealed inside. Your name has been spoken in secret. Not in prayer, but in planning. Not in reverence, but in control. They used ink without honor. They signed in silence. And now the silence has begun to scream. A wind just shifted around your life. It wasn't natural. It was heaven leaning in to warn you. There is someone whose face you do not know. But their hands have been all over your destiny. Their presence lingers in shadows you've never entered. They've aligned themselves with a dark covenant. They made themselves a silent authority over what belongs to you. And now the light has begun exposing the paper trail. Ashes fall from a broken photo frame. A room once filled with laughter now echoes like a crypt. And something you were told to forget is knocking on your spirit. You trusted the wrong silence. You believed the wrong apology. And while you were healing, someone was stealing. They took what looked small but carried eternal weight. They erased your name in systems they thought heaven wouldn't monitor. But the records of God were never tampered. Someone has filed a claim. Not out of justice, but out of fear. They are afraid of what your awakening will unearth. The legal tie isn't to property. It's to timing, inheritance, and favor. They've tried to pause your progression with counterfeit authority. A voice keeps repeating in your dreams. It doesn't belong to your memory, but to your future. That's not confusion, it's a key trying to be remembered. They came too close to the altar of your assignment. They spoke your name with unclean lips. And now heaven is pressing judgment down through your timeline. There is a door creaking open in a forgotten hallway. Dust floats like secrets trying to be reborn. And just beyond it, a truth waits to be reintroduced to you. They never expected you to rise. They celebrated your silence. But your breath is now fire. One document. One conversation. One exposure, and their structure collapses. The unknown face is not just a stranger. It's a placeholder. A decoy hiding a more dangerous truth. They wear politeness like armor. They speak with practiced calm. But their soul trembles when your name is mentioned. You are about to step into a legal firestorm. But this isn't court, it's divine confrontation. And you hold the sword of light. There will be messages pretending to clarify. There will be voices trying to soothe. But this is not the hour to be comforted, it is the hour to confront. You are not being dramatic. You are being divinely alerted. Your spiritual alarm is accurate. Something in your past was never finished. Something buried was never dead. And now it's clawing its way back to be resolved. They believed time would erase evidence. But heaven just retrieved the moment and made it current. Now there is nowhere left for them to hide. A hidden transaction has begun to unravel. The stranger is a thread. Pull it, and everything false collapses. Your soul knows. The pressure in your chest isn't panic, it's power returning. You've just forgotten how powerful you were. They forged timing. They manipulated entry points. They sealed access with their own spiritual fingerprints. But they forgot about divine timing. They forgot about angelic recall. And they forgot that your name was never truly erased. There's a knock coming. It won't be literal, it will be in a decision, a sudden shift, a strange delay. And that's when you must lean in. Don't let the soft voice deceive you. The stranger has read your blueprint. But they don't carry the authority to interpret it. Every delay has now expired. Every lie has reached its threshold. Every sealed file is now being opened. You were almost robbed forever. But the divine interception was scheduled for this moment. And now the thief is exposed mid-act. A scent you haven't smelled in years will return. A face from long ago will flash before your eyes. These are not memories, they're codes being unlocked. You are being summoned back to the place of inheritance. Not just physically, but spiritually, emotionally, and legally. Your seat at the table is being restored. Someone tried to sit in your place. They wore your spiritual identity like a stolen coat. But the garment never fit. Now, it's falling off. The illusion is breaking. And the truth is stepping into the room, fully armed. The stranger thought they could file in silence. They thought the divine registry could be bypassed. But heaven has eyes where men think no one sees. The moment they stepped into your timeline uninvited, angels were deployed. Archangel Michael's sword has touched the thread. And now the unraveling begins. You were never abandoned. You were watched. And now, you are reactivated. There will be a sign. A technology failure. A repeating number. A moment when time seems to pause. This is the warning. This is the pivot. This is the sacred intersection. Do not engage the legal conversation directly. Do not sign what feels convenient. What is coming requires spiritual discernment, not just logic. They want quick agreement. They want rushed understanding. But this is not for their comfort, it's for your correction. Everything you've lost is whispering its way back to you. But it will not arrive quietly. It will come with confrontation, with revelation, with holy unrest. There is thunder in your timeline. The skies are thick with record keepers. And judgment has already been written. What was hidden in a dusty drawer is now glowing with divine fire. You will find the folder. You will know when you see it. A name you've never spoken will suddenly feel familiar. A street you've never walked will echo like déjà vu. These are not coincidences, these are markers of your return. Archangel Michael says the final moment is approaching. A name tied to your breakthrough will appear. And what happens next will define your bloodline's freedom. Do not look away. Do not second-guess your knowing. The battle has already been fought, it only needs your awareness. The blessing was preserved in silence. But now the silence has lifted. And your voice is required. Here is the divine revelation. The stranger linked to your legal destiny was planted there long ago. They were meant to delay you, confuse you, even replace you, but their claim was built on false ground. Here is your blessing, heaven has ripped the seal. The contract is broken. And everything stolen from you is now returning with interest, wrapped in divine fire.